Blake Lively has always been known as one of the most elegant and composed figures in Hollywood. She rose to fame with her unforgettable role in Gossip Girl, and from there she carved out a career that combined style, talent, and grace. Her appearances on red carpets, her thoughtful interviews, and her commitment to keeping her personal life private all helped shape her image as someone who stays above drama and controversy. Justin Baldoni became a beloved name through his performance in Jane the Virgin, but his influence stretched beyond acting. He gained respect for his work as a filmmaker and a speaker, using his platform to discuss important social issues. His voice in documentaries and public conversations gave him a reputation as a thoughtful and sincere figure in the entertainment industry. The two stars, though working in different corners of Hollywood, had never before crossed paths in any major public way. There were no feuds, no projects linking them, no reason to think their names would ever be connected in a legal context. But all of that changed when reports began to surface about a surprising and growing legal conflict that involved both Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. At first, the public heard only whispers, a legal filing here, a mention of copyright issues there. Some content creators on social media began to speak out, saying they had received takedown notices or legal letters related to videos they had posted about the stars. The details were vague, but the tension was building quietly in the background. Then came the first major headline that brought the situation into full public view. It was revealed that Justin Baldoni's legal team had taken action against a number of creators, accusing them of misusing his image and crossing the line of fair use. What shocked many was that Blake Lively's name appeared in the same legal filings. Her team had also expressed concern over how her image was being used in digital content. Suddenly, this was no longer a quiet legal issue, it was a full-blown controversy. The public wanted to know what had happened, what the accusations were, and why two stars known for their calm and positive reputations were now at the center of a heated legal storm. Social media lit up with questions and debates. Some defended the stars, saying they had every right to protect their image. Others argued that the legal action was too aggressive, especially towards small independent creators who were simply discussing public figures. Many creators began removing their videos, while others posted emotional responses, saying they felt silenced or unfairly targeted. In the middle of all this came something unexpected, a deeply emotional plea from someone caught in the crossfire of the legal war. This individual had posted content involving both stars and now faced legal pressure they never saw coming. In a heartfelt video shared online, they spoke not just of confusion or fear, but of something more personal. They said they were scared for their children and their family. Their plea was not directed at the stars, but to the judge overseeing the legal case. It was a call for understanding, for balance, and for protection from what they felt was an overwhelming situation. They said they respected Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, but they never imagined that making commentary videos could lead to legal threats that might affect their lives and their loved ones. This emotional statement touched a nerve. It was shared widely and quickly became one of the most talked about aspects of the legal drama. It brought a new dimension to the story, reminding everyone that legal actions, no matter how justified in principle, can have real effects on real people. As the controversy grew larger, this emotional plea became a symbol of the human side of digital conflict. It raised serious questions about where the line should be drawn between protecting celebrity image and allowing free public discussion. It also marked a turning point in how the public viewed the case, no longer as just a dispute between stars and creators, but as a larger conversation about power, fairness, and accountability in the digital age. Blake Lively has always carried herself with quiet strength, rarely engaging in controversy or responding to online drama. Her focus has mostly remained on her acting career, her family life, and charitable efforts. Even when rumors have circulated or media outlets speculated about her private world, she has managed to maintain a poised and dignified silence. Her fans have come to respect her for this sense of control and calm. So when news began to circulate that her name was appearing in legal filings involving Justin Baldoni's team and several content creators, many were shocked. Blake had never been seen as someone who would be involved in a situation that might be perceived as hostile or aggressive. This was a sharp contrast to her public image and raised immediate questions about what exactly was happening behind the scenes. Reports started to surface suggesting that her legal team had concerns over certain digital content that featured Blake in ways they believed were misleading or inappropriate. This content included video essays, reaction videos, and pop culture commentary that used her likeness or voice without formal permission. In some cases, the videos linked her name to narratives she had no part in, prompting her team to step in. The goal appeared to be to protect her brand, her image, and her professional future. But the inclusion of her name in the same documents as Justin Baldoni, who was already taking firm legal action, gave the impression of a joint effort. This led many fans and creators to wonder if Blake Lively had intentionally taken sides, or if she had been swept up in something larger than she had intended. Her silence during the initial phase only added to the mystery. Fans waited for a public response, a statement, or even a social media post that could provide some clarity. But none came. Instead, her team remained behind the scenes, quietly managing the legal process and staying away from public comment. This created a vacuum that was quickly filled by speculation and online narratives. Some said she had no idea her name was being used. Others claimed she was taking a quiet but firm stance on the matter. Whatever the truth was, her reputation was being reshaped by the minute, not by her actions but by how others interpreted her silence. Creators, especially those who had been targeted by the legal notices, began to speak out more openly. They shared screenshots of the emails they received, some of which they claimed included both Blake Lively's and Justin Baldoni's legal teams. This was seen as confirmation that the two stars were working together on the legal strategy, whether intentionally or through overlapping goals. One creator, who had made several analysis videos about celebrity interviews, said they were shocked to receive a legal threat. They had always tried to stay respectful and believed they were well within the boundaries of fair use, but now they felt unsure, scared, and targeted by people they had admired for years. This shift in tone from admiration to concern echoed across social media. Comments began to flood under old interviews of Blake. People asked whether she truly supported creator freedom, or if her image of calm professionalism was just that, an image. The emotional plea from the earlier chapter added fuel to the fire, showing just how deeply the legal actions were affecting ordinary people who had never intended harm. Despite all this, Blake remained silent, and that silence began to speak louder than any press release could. It became a symbol of the uncertainty surrounding the entire case and turned her into both a central figure and a mystery within the legal war. As public opinion continued to shift and legal experts began analyzing the filings more carefully, some questioned whether Blake Lively had full control over the direction the legal action had taken. Others believed she had simply trusted her legal team to do what was best without realizing how far the ripple effects would reach. In either case, the situation had grown too large to ignore. The once quiet Hollywood star was now caught in the middle of a legal and media whirlwind, and the world was watching closely to see what she would do next. While Blake Lively's role in the unfolding legal war remained shrouded in mystery, Justin Baldoni's approach was seen as more deliberate and strategic. He was not only at the center of the controversy, he was also the one whose legal team was credited or blamed for igniting the initial fire. Justin had always been viewed as a thoughtful and compassionate figure. He spoke often about social justice, personal growth, and empathy. His work in documentary filmmaking and motivational speaking made him a unique presence in Hollywood, not just another celebrity but someone who aimed to use his voice for deeper causes. So when his legal team began issuing takedown requests and copyright warnings, it felt like a sharp change from his usual public persona. At first, people wondered if it was a mistake or a misunderstanding, but when multiple creators confirmed receiving similar notices, it became clear that this was not an isolated event. It was part of a broader legal effort. Reports from inside the industry suggested that Justin had grown increasingly concerned about the way his image was being used. Online creators had posted video essays, compilations, and speculative content about him, some of which included clips taken out of context or edited in ways that he believed were harmful or misleading. Rather than respond publicly or post messages on social media, his team took action through the legal system. They began sending formal notices, demanding content removal, and even threatened further action if the demands were ignored. This signaled a major escalation and set the tone for the rest of the conflict. As this legal campaign expanded, Blake Lively's name began appearing alongside Justin's and some of the documents. This fueled speculation that the two stars were aligned in their goals. Even if they had not coordinated directly, the result was a growing perception that Hollywood was closing ranks against the creator community. What made Justin's role even more controversial was his continued silence. While creators spoke out and fans debated across platforms, Justin remained out of the spotlight. He did not give interviews or release statements. Instead, he led his legal filings, and the consequences of those filings speak for him. Some viewed this as a smart strategy. By remaining quiet, he avoided fanning the flames or saying something that might complicate the case. Others saw it as a contradiction to the values he had publicly supported for years. A man who preached empathy was now unleashing legal pressure that left creators feeling afraid and silence. This silence also left room for others to fill in the blanks. Some assumed that Justin was being advised not to speak, others speculated.